Hey, good day, Stewart's Chapel. Brother Don Pierson here, and Don counts behind the camera, and we are at the church's office in my room, my office. And today is Friday's, January the 15th, devotion. And we are moving to our second look at the Word. Yesterday we did God, the Word, and today I want to look at the living and the written Word. The living and the written Word. We're in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. Verse 12. And I'm going to just single out one verse there. There is a whole context there, but I'm going to just jump into where we're focusing is, and that's the Word. It says, "For the Word of God is living and powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the division of soul and spirit, and of joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. There is no creature hidden from his sight." Verse 13. "But all things are naked and open to the eyes of him to whom we must give account." We talk about the written and the living Word. I want to share with you that the first thing you will notice in Hebrews 4, 12, and 13 verses John chapter 1 is that the word W, the Word itself is a small w. And that's intentional. It's made that way. It's talking about this Word. The Bible, when we talk about the Word of God, we can talk about Jesus or God as the Word. We can talk about it as the written or the read Word. But this same Word is also known as the heard or the seen Word. Now, when I say seen Word, let me tell you what I mean. I don't mean by the physical Jesus or anything like that. I mean the power of the seen Word. Now, I think my illustration will help you on this. One of my most fondest memories that moved me, and literally to a place of weeping, I was in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I had been sent there to do some teaching in various formats on prayer. The missionary was in the midst of interpreting the Experiencing God book by Henry Blackaby into Brazilian. Now, when I say Brazilian, let me back up. He wasn't translating the Experiencing God into the Brazilian language that could be spoke. He was translating Experiencing God into Brazilian Sign Language. And you see, in sign language, there are various forms of sign language throughout the world. It's not just the same we use here. Brazilian Sign Language is different than ours. I encountered the same thing when I was among the Palestinians in Gaza, when I visited a deaf school that the Germans had actually built. And I discovered there that the deaf language among the Palestinians was a different language than other places. But when I was watching them in that room, none of them could hear my voice. It was a room of silence as the missionary communicated with his hands to a group of people about how to translate the what was before them, and them all going. It was incredible. And even today I get chills. I was so moved. Towards the end, he said, "For my benefit, we're going to pray." Well, I did the natural thing. I closed my eyes, I bowed my head, put my hands kind of close, and I waited to hear someone speak. And I waited. There was silence. And I peeked. I peeked and opened up my eyes, and I'm telling you, it moved me. The whole room was alive with their hands as they were all praying to God with their eyes wide open, their heads lifted up. The missionary and the individuals all just praying. This word is very powerful in every language. Powerful whether it's read, whether it's heard, or whether it's seen. It moves people to a point of decision, a place where God intervenes, where the written black and white words take on life, where the Spirit of God reveals Himself. It becomes alive, becomes powerful, becomes sharp, piercing, all the way to the soul and the spirit, not just the flesh. Becomes discerning of my thoughts, but also of my intents. It makes everyone naked before God. Everyone. It's as though in its hearing, in its reading, or in its seeing, God invades a life. That same presence of God invading his life can bring salvation. But it can also bring damnation, depending on what happens with that word. Yesterday, God, Jesus, is the Word, became flesh. Today, I carry the Word. I read it to you. Love you, Stewart's Chapel.